Excuse me, Badger. Excuse me. What on earth are you doing? Okay, well the thing is, Badger, we need to read chapter 4 to everyone. So, please can you put the maracas down? Please. Thank you. Marvellous. Oh, yeah. Good dog. Right, now, we're going to read from chapter 4. But first of all, we need to find out the clue in the red magic bag. So, let me see. Here's our bag. Our empty red bag. There we are. And, oh, chapter 4. Let's fold it up and see what comes out of the bag. Okay. Thank you, Badger. In the bag. Thank you. Oh, right, here we go. Let's have a look. Goodness me. What on earth is this? What? Badger, can you have a sniff? What's that? Cheese balls. I bet they are. Cheese balls. What a clue. Well, let's see what happens with cheese balls. Right, here we go. As sticky, thick blue paint landed on Hamish's head and slid slowly down his long floppy ears, he heard Top Dog, Pogo Paws, Pickle, Dodgy Dave, Sniff and Lenny snigger viciously beside him. The paint crept down the back of Hamish's neck, sticking to every single hair. He shook himself, splattering the lane with specks of brilliant blue. "Are you feeling blue?" snarled Dodgy Dave. "You'll never win Pet Idol now, Fancy Pants," sneered Pickle. "Roses are red, Hamish is blue. Who would vote for a loser like you?" bounced Pogo Paws, before adding further insult with "Pooper Scooper Smelly Snooper." Hamish hung his head, dripping big drops of blue paint onto his front paws. "You're just jealous because you're not in the competition," he said. "Oh, is that so? You actually think we're jealous of you?" scoffed Top Dog. "I don't think so." Hamish shook again, sending torpedoes of blue all over the gang. Meanwhile, in Badger's garden, his dreams of higgledy-piggledy towers of toast were interrupted once more by the commotion in the lane. He padded to the bottom of the garden to peer through the crack in the fence. All the greenery was blue, and he could see Top Dog and his gang circling Hamish. Right, this calls for drastic action, thought Badger. He straightened his legs and wagged his bottom until his tail began to whir. Soon he was hovering above the ground. His big paws climbed the air and he rose higher and higher until he was over the fence and directly above Hamish. "It's raining cats and dogs minus the cats," shouted Top Dog as he looked up and saw what was causing the big shadow over Hamish. Badger attempted to land, but instead of a graceful swoop, he dropped slap bang on top of Hamish, right in the middle of Top Dog's gang. "Ouch!" squealed Hamish. "Quick, gang! Scarper!" shouted Top Dog. "Oops," said Badger. "I did warn you about my landing skills, but at least that's got rid of them." Hamish pointed a paw at Badger and giggled. Well, you certainly came out of the blue. Badger looked down at his paws and his chest and saw that his thick fur was now also covered in the same blue paint. I think it's time for my special paint removing spell, offered Badger. Just then, they both felt something grab the scruff of their necks. Top Dog and Dodgy Dave had returned. Let's get this washed off, you boys. Badger and Hamish were dragged along to the garden at the very end of the lane to a big rectangular tank of very smelly, slimy water. You're first, Hamish. We need to have you looking your best for the pet idol final, don't we? Said Top Dog and threw him in. Dodgy Dave lifted Badger up and did the same. Pooper scooper smelly snooper, said Badger and Hamish, screwing up their noses at the horrible stench. Goodbye, losers, laughed Top Dog and Dodgy Dave as they ran off. Hamish looked miserably at Badger and asked, Have you got any magic to get us out of this one? I'm thinking of a plan, said Badger. Hamish's tummy rumbled again. I've still not had my dinner, he whined. Dinner is the least of your worries right now, Hamish. We need to get you cleaned up. I've got a marvellous spell which might just work. It's a mix of wood varnish, soap, sage and salt. Hang on to my tail and I'll pull us out of this stinky mess. Hamish looked on suspiciously but hopeful of a glossy coat. As they trotted up the lane, Hamish's nose began to twitch. I can smell cheese, he said. I love cheese. His tummy gurgled. Badger was deep in thought, muttering about the ingredients he needed for his amazing paint removing spell. He didn't notice that Hamish had fallen behind. He was following a trail of cheese balls, crunching each delicious morsel as he went. His nose followed the track all the way to the most beautiful sight he had ever seen. A huge pyramid of cheese balls waiting just for him. Yippee! Said Hamish, launching himself at the feast before him. There was a loud bang and everything went black. Caught you, fancy pants! Screamed Top Dog. Where's your pal now? Where am I? Yelped Hamish. You're in the best place for pretty boys like you, the wheelie bin. We've dog-napped you and you're not getting out until after Pet Idol Final. But what about my dinner? But Hamish's yelps were not heard. Top Dog and his gang ran off, the mwah-ha-ha-ha, mwah-ha-ha-ha of their laughter fading into the distance. Oh no! They've kidnapped Hamish! Oh, Badger, goodness me! I'm off. Away from those maracas. See you next time.